mistake right now, and you're probably gonna point it out a lot, is
Mhm.
I'm wasting a lot of time,
Okay.
like doing nothing. Like I'm either waiting for timers or just like, because I know that was like a big thing in like, because I came from League, like,
Mhm.
anytime like I've seen players like lose or whatever, it's because they're not doing something on the map. They have no map presence. They're just like sitting stationary waiting for something, or like, I don't know. I know in these games you should always be doing something like 24/7.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very valid. I think there is a little bit of wiggle room for like being a couple seconds early to the buffs. Because as you get into like higher games, if people are trying to contest you, if you're there just a second or two early to be prepped and on time, you can kind of clear it before they will get there and try to contest you for a buff. So there's a little bit of leeway with that. But I wouldn't say, obviously, I haven't seen anything yet, but it is very true. You want to be active, you want to be doing stuff, and have a purpose between what you're trying to do. Um, but it's not one of those, like, you can't always sit there, just wait for something, because sometimes that is just something you need to do. So don't,
Yeah.
obviously, we'll get into it how it is. So I see you have all of these auto builds here. Do you pretty much just do your main one here, or are you loco? Do you do these two?
I don't even touch whatever the game recommends. I just do the ones that I have set. Which
Smart
I
man.
tried your new build that you said this game.
This one?
Yeah, this
Okay,
is the build you gave me last time that I tried out.
gotcha. Okay, how did you like it?
I liked it. It was actually really good. Um, um, yeah, I probably definitely want to go beat this game with that
Good
one.
choice. Where's Afro Milf?
I will
Sorry.
say one thing too. Like I'm in a public Discord, so you might hear like other people join.
Yeah, that's
That are just like with me and my duo. So like, people just like to like watch something while they're at work or whatever. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
will
for
hear
sure.
other voices in the video.
No worries. I get it. That's no stress. But I appreciate you giving the heads up. Warriors Axe. All right, understandable. I think it actually goes really well with you going into a Mercury, right? You have that extra prots. Horus, with Horus being, his two non-aspect, just removes those prots, gives you a little bit of leeway there. So that's not bad. Extra protection bonus, and the only thing you're losing is the conduit. But Warrior Sax going with the physical build is just better. So that works out well. You're looking at builds, you're looking at what people are trying to do. That's good. You're already showing,
Versus Horus at the top right.
signs of like looking into stuff, so that's already a good sign. Hold on 1 second. This guy's showing up with his fucking loud ass motorcycle.
I know you're all good, brother.
Alright, well, fuck it. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but he's taking 10 years to move. Good Ward Scorpion. Well, that gives you information on what start they're doing without relying on your mid laner or anything to do extra wards, so that's good. One thing I noticed here is you start with your one.
Mm.
Most Tsukiyomis will start with their three.
Okay.
Primarily because you can abuse the drag mechanic. It does an insane amount of damage.
Yeah.
Now it's very unintuitive, and it's something that like took a little bit of testing to figure out. If you start your three and you don't use it at the start of the scorpion, and you use it after it does its first poison pull, you'll clear like a second faster.
Okay.
So just like a tip for next time, like the one I understand, right? But just that 3 will just do more damage and allow you to abuse a lot of the movement mechanics, and increase your clear time with Suki overall.
Okay, I actually didn't know that. That's good.
And also like if you use your 3 and then you use it at the start spawn of the Scorpion, right? The Scorpion will stop moving and you won't get the full damage when it goes to do its poison.
The 1:30 to 2 minute mark, can you ward fire giant minions?
Yeah.
1:30 to 2. Okay.
Hughie, the fuck are you doing? You're really trying to get me even farther behind this game. Why are you clearing waves where I can't get XP? You're not on purple. They're about to kill you.
The fuck?
How am I the lowest?
Okay, and you can see like there, right? Just in terms of length of kill time, right? Scorpion has casted poison twice. That's very long. It's a very slow clear time.
How am I the lowest rank?
Going to red. That's good. Make sure. So one thing you want to do here as you're doing it, it's just a tiny little min-max thing. As you're pulling these camps, you want to drag them closer to this right side here. So that way, you can force the animation of the ability. Like, it makes it easy. You can kind of just force the animation of the ability into the wall so no one can get hit by it. Granted, a lot of the times you can just dodge it anyways. But it also brings it closer to here, so there's... Your mid laner can hit it faster, and you can have as little downtime to walking and clearing, because while you're clearing it over here with these camps, depending on the mid lane clear time, they can miss these smalls because you're in the center for like optimal farming route. It's not like a major thing, but it's those things that can really start to add up like over the course of like the game. So just getting into the habit of pulling it over towards this right side here can really help you out in terms of like saving and shaving a couple seconds off, right? Or guaranteeing like just a couple seconds of clear speed, because every mid laner is different in their clear time. So you doing that, like Neath does pretty good clear speed, right? But say Disco or any of the other characters that have like a slightly less, we'll say Aphrodite, right? Or something, right, that has a slower clear speed, or Morgan Le Fay that has a very slower level 1 clear speed compared to others, could miss XP because it's over here. If you're like spending your full time clearing it, right, as you should be, you want to be as optimal with it. So getting into that habit will do it. Not to harp on it too much, but it's just something to go through. One thing that can also be very useful, but it needs to also, it kind of depends. You said your solo laner is your duo queue partner?
Yes.
Gotcha. This is primarily a mid jungle specific thing, but as you were going through, it's very important what abilities get used on this camp, right? Because the mid laner will hit 2 off of the camp, and they're gonna hit this side camp with you. So understanding like if the mid laner wastes their ability here, or you both use your ability on this camp, it's actually going to clear slower on this side camp, right? Because you just used your ability at 11 seconds with this having 86 HP, right? So by the time you clear this, you're walking over, and this is assuming it's over here, right? So you have less time than it would actually take to get over there, right? To that next camp. This is going to be down for a little while, and because you don't hit 2 off of this start at this camp, right, like you're going to have this amount of downtime for 6 seconds, which it would be more like 7 or 8 due to the difference in clear time, like before you get to, like, you would already be like at speed buff by now, in terms of clear speed. Your back camp, that's fine. Mid laner slower to and that's another thing too, is that slower rotation part there with that clear means mid laner is slower to get into that clear and rotate out for this camp for him to grab this roaming heartbeat.
So unfortunate. There's gonna be a little off.
I assume you're okay. Well, your mid laner's not doing.
Yeah, no, but I'm gonna be honest. It's very rare to find a game where somebody helps me with this camp right here. In this
That's not a
elo.
you problem. That's a them problem. So I just want to get like that start is pretty important as you get up right in rank. So like understanding that is just I just want to make sure that foundation is set. Overall, really good. Again, we talked about the 3, so like your clear order be your 3, then your 2, then your 1. So
Okay, so I would just reverse it, or like do it the opposite way.
yeah, pretty much. There, nice slow. Okay, one thing you could do here, right? If you know Mercury is trying to run at you, right? So let's say he is at this point, he's looking at you. While you're in the middle of your 2 animation, you could pre-beads his 3.
Oh, okay.
So he wouldn't interrupt your disarm. You'd get the double hit. His dash would still hit you, right? And then you would be able to stun him in place and get both of your autos off.
So I'd be able to get the kill here.
You'd
'cause I don't
probably
think I'd
kill
kill him here.
Yeah, I assume you don't, right? And you would either get that. Ideally, your mid laner would also be semi-near, right? And you would get more damage from that as well. But just in terms of you individually, right? As much as it is, beads is really good to get you out. It's also a really good W key tool. So like to use that as your advantage to be able to get an early game kill on a Mercury, right? And if you had beads there to kill, he would lose. Did he have 2 buff? Yeah, he would lose red. The fuck does he have purple buff? Yeah, that was speed. How the fuck does Mercury have purple buff?
Unless he stole it from bot lane, I have no idea.
What up, dude? Yeah, you got me a little one. Not sure.
That's definitely a good note, because I feel like since I've played League, I'm much more like I hold my F button way too much.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's
obviously that's like your flash or your like main ability, like in like League terms. So like you kind of don't want to just waste that. So I'm so used to that mindset. It's just
no, and that is a very good. Like in the most part, you can and you will save it for those situations as a defense. But that is the other thing too. Is it just like in League, right? As you can use your flash to get a kill, right? You can also use your beads to get a kill in here too. So it's that middle ground of like, you don't want to waste it, but if you have an opportunity to use it, especially early game, where like at this point in the game with the cooldown of beads, by the time you would do the rest of your farm route and then go to contest some of these objectives outside of this rock camp that you would fight for, you would automatically, like using your beads in that aggro position to kill Mercury, right, would put you in an advantage state for rocks, because the jungler would be losing farm, you would have a lead, and you'd probably be close to level 4, and you would like essentially win the neutral fight for that neutral camp just off of that aggro. So it's like the benefit of doing it. And the other, like the option is, right, you save it, you don't do it, and now you have it for this fight, and the fight happens, right? Ideally, not to say that it does, but in this instance, but ideally, right, this will be a very contested camp. So you have the option to either use your beads aggressively to cancel the fight outright, because if you shut down Merc, he's not going to come to contest this camp, or you save your beads to use during the fight at the camp. Right, so you either use it to null and void the fight entirely, or use it to distract the fight. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. So Mercury did fucking purple buff. Oh. This is what I'm looking for. Because they did this. No, they got the purple. So I think Mercury did their purple.
Yeah, Hugh
No,
Yi,
it's
like,
gonna be
I don't know, him and the support kept going at each other this match.
I could tell by the 20 seconds in, it was just
Yeah, he
going
didn't
into it.
start purple with support. He cleared the first wave, which I think forced bottom lane to clear that wave before it goes under tower, which made Merc get purple buff for some reason.
Never mind. I thought horse
Yeah, that was really weird because that is what I'm getting. I try to like go back and back count just in case I missed anything to kind of like explain it. So no, but you're right in that because he didn't do red buff because red buff shouldn't be up right now.
Yeah. And
Right, so you guys
we
actually
just
get an invade off of that, which is really well. I know you're maxing the one. There's a little bit of obviously comp specific as well, but there's a little bit of flexibility in what you want to max. I am a max 3 enjoyer because the 3 just does more damage for farming versus like the 1 is really good for poke and the 2 does really good, you know, like final damage. So there is a benefit to each individual one. I myself personally am a max the 3 and then the 2 and then the 1.
He's just holding my wave because he just wants
But
to keep.
it's very comp
using his
dependent. Like if you
abilities
can
on me.
poke much more.
What?
So here, I know your boy is calling for your gank. You should just do these rocks.
Yeah, I go back and do them with him.
Never mind. She's gonna clear with you. You can clear.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say because you should do this because that blue buff is about to come up, and if you were already clearing this, right? This would already be cleared and it wouldn't be contested, right? It's that part where like your boy conned for you, and I understand like you're listening to comms, so I can't give you shit for listening to comms, right? But if you were like had that decision to like no, like I need to do this farm before they contest it, right? Then you would have this fully cleared already, and then like homeboy would be rotated. They wouldn't have stolen anything. Now you still get the beads. You still get the beads from it, or not the beads, shell.
Knockup, literally, I was just trying to get all 3 of them.
Right, it's a benefit, but you would already clear it, so you'd kind of be able to walk in and maybe invade a blue buff off of this for your solo laner. But he also didn't rotate for your neutral fights there, because I think he got out cleared by a Horus, which is a little insane, but it's okay. General safe. So we see here, right? Neutral camps have about 45 seconds left, roughly. They're invading your purple on right side. By the time this is there, you do have fast TP. Right? So either you fast TP right to help them secure this purple buff, and then be there for the neutral red that's about to spawn. Right? So in terms of like trying to control neutral farm, that's like the big part of your game plan. You and the support, regardless of the role, right, is controlling neutral farm. So in this instance as well, like there is camps and farm here to do. You're actively getting invaded on this right side. So fast TPing up after hitting your power spike of buying your items would be to go fast TP right here and try to make a fight happen for your advantage over here, because while you're not no one is 5, which is partially due to the fact that like you're not farming correctly with your mid laner, because there is a start where like you do the normal start like you did, but you do Scorpion, red, side, speed, upwards, and then you do the neutrals with the mid laner. And even if you get the less neutral, which is the buff, and then you split waves with the mid laner, and the mid laner comes back and does these camps with you, if you do it correctly and you're not missing creeps, you both hit level 5 before this first set of rocks.
Okay. Yeah, you were telling me that. I have it in a notepad.
Yeah, so there is that way, and it's not necessarily like that's your fault. Your mid laner didn't even come to do side camps with. You know what I mean? Like that's not you. I just want to make sure you're aware of the possibility of it in case you go against somebody that is doing it. You need to be prepared that like they could have had their ultis right at that like fight, and that could have gone really poorly for you. But also you doing that could have led to you having your ultimate to contest on this right side.
Okay.
But also in the fact that you look at your map, you have fast TP, you just hit your power spike. The ADC on their team and your team and the support on both teams are all not level 5. So they don't have any like big team fight turn ultimates besides the fact that they are like Aphrodite. Like Aphrodite before ulti and Aphrodite after ulti are two very different characters. In terms of how like annoying they are to deal with. So this is actually a really prime opportunity for you to be able to get your duo lane ahead, especially with them being bickering and like needing assistance. For the most part, this is just a good opportunity to do that, and then you'd clear that purple with them, neutral camp, and then possibly invade because you're there. Especially with how he just dived. Right, like you fast TP, you're on top of that CERN. Right, like because they dove so deep.
Yeah, I should have did that. I just because Hu Yi wasn't like present in that fight at all. I don't know, like he was
100%.
just trying to. He was forming under a tower, so I just kind of want to leave. I wanted my mindset is I wanted to leave that lane alone.
No, and I fully get that mindset. That is like a good thing. But in the downside of like
13.
getting used to that style of like just get there, especially like as you're getting higher up in rank, making sure you're there to support, because like you're gonna have like one bad apple for a certain level of time, but then you're eventually gonna get into the game where like that amount of a lead, like say they stole that and CERN didn't just int his brains out, right? Or Umoja didn't die. That's enough of a lead to where like if you leave that alone, they can snowball and win the game.
Yeah, most definitely. I've definitely noticed that because our game. So we played 4 games. Like this was the first game of the night.
Yeah.
We played against. I don't know what the fuck the match queue was, but we played against 3 Masters players, and we had 2 Masters players on our team.
Yeah.
And I got demolished in the jungle. Like this guy was doing everything way faster than me.
Feeds that. You don't need it actually.
Damn, Umoja's already rotating into my lane.
I really thought Mercury was gonna just ulti away. I guess he didn't. That was just. That's me saying, oh, you should have done this, but then like Mercury didn't do any, like he didn't press his buttons, so you actually get that for free.
Unless she hits her stun, I mean.
I'll admit I was wrong on that.
She just do it to her.
Neutral camp's fine. You see as purple, so you know that timer. You can assume, right? Like, you know they invaded here, right? And they dropped it. That you can tell by the distance on this meter, for the most part, is probably the timer for their purple, and how far the difference is in that spawn timer. So you can like use this as a knowing that their ADC and support were there, and then going to be delayed through that neutral camp and then their purple, to start looking for a setup for an invade, right? Because as much as it needs to be on your timers, right? Like I'm sure you know, like you League of Legends, that is an opportunity for you to be able to get your farm and prep for a free invade, because your farm will already be down while their spawns, because it's offset. Like offset timers.
Yeah, I give her take like 5 to 10 seconds.
Exactly, right? And like, so obviously I get the benefit that like you played jungle in League, so it's kind of a little easier to like explain those concepts to you.
Yeah.
But it's very abusable in this game. I'd almost say more than League, in terms of like the map is smaller and faster to get around in this game. So like you can kind of gain a lot of that benefit. I mean, you did really well here too. Like you're invading with your mid laner. Like that's a W in itself. Knowing those timers and getting it, keeping MILF out of the game is really nice.
Solo, I was not planning on taking all the rocks from you.
Oh, you
So I
guys
was
cleared
away,
that.
and he was there. I just want to make sure he didn't get them.
And
That's fine. I will say with Suki, if you're going double stack build, more than most characters, getting the rocks is more important for you, because you're scaling, right? It's a little bit less because they nerfed them, because it used to be one of each stat. Now it's still just your highest scaling stat. But with you're essentially going the Tsukiyomi one-shot build, where like you just press your ulti and they evaporate, getting those extra stats
Oh, the
mean a
rocks.
lot when like both two of your items are scaling based. With like book and trans.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know why the support took all the rocks here. I really don't.
that's just a bad support. You know what I mean? That's not your fault. That's them. And that's the other thing too with like coaching half of this stuff. It really is like this is what you should do, and then this is where your team is an absolute idiot and didn't do it correctly, right? And screw you out of what a good decision would have been. So I put that in my calculations to some of it too.
He's
Nope.
gone.
I already told you I gave up.
So we know they're probably going to invade purple here.
Yeah,
Right.
that's why in chat I was saying attack right lane, and then the support just said, "No, I already told you I gave up on that lane," so I was just kind of solo here.
Yeah, he's kind of screwing you. What I would do, knowing the timer, I assume you get here, it's going to have probably, what, like 20 seconds? Yeah, 20 seconds. Right?
I already told
What
you
I would do is, knowing that it's a possible invade, I would clear this camp
Mhm.
into this camp and then be ready for this to be invaded, instead of if you go to this, right, assuming that they still help you, right, even if they don't, right, which they're not, you can take this fight, and let's say it goes your way, great. Let's say it doesn't go your way, right, and you die, you're going to be dead for 20 seconds, and your camps are still going to be up. So in like risk assessment, right, if this goes poorly, these camps are going to be up for even longer than what they should be after already being up for a while. So you can effectively lose almost an entire rotation of these camps just because of like this fight going poorly. Not necessarily that they'll be taken from you, but because they're not cleared means that they're not respawning, right?
up on that UE.
So you can lose that farm.
Start and then
You don't lose it, quote unquote, in the aspect that they take it from you, but you lose it in the fact that it's not respawning. You're not getting your next set. And if it's up for too long, then you're essentially like, if that happens a couple times throughout the game, you can miss 2 to 3 of these camps each. Right, not even through the fact that they weren't, just because they weren't dropped, but if they take a minute to spawn and they've been left up for a minute and a half 3 times, right, you're effectively down 5 camps each, which is 10 camps total over 5 minutes,
not even
right?
gonna even try.
Or at like 5 minutes of lost time. So that's just something to also keep in mind too. You managed to get something here, I assume, based on that. Nice positioning. Still good gank. Works out really in your favor. Honestly, like that's crazy. Ho Yi. Yamoja's being a bitch. Ho Yi didn't do it correctly through the start of the game, as you kind of like saw. But Ho Yi's still trying to play the game. Yamoja's not. So that actually really goes well for you guys that you're able to get that. And you don't get as punished.
Really
Let's
just
grab gold. Let's grab gold.
Good gold call. Killed 2. They might have fast TP though.
Gold.
So your team will come, which is really nice. Mid beacon is up, so there is that counter intuition where they can contest through this. And Mercury, but they're not. So this is actually just a free gold.
We just get this for free. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good call. Like
Take it easy, man.
Good shit.
like very overall good call.
Objectives.
But also here, okay, you stop. I was like, you're about to back with all of your camps up. And with Scorpion, like Scorpion's a good chunk of XP. A lot of these camps, you just want to make sure, while you got your gold, and that's really nice, you want to make sure that you're staying on these farm timers, because they're up. They've been up for a while. You got your kills, you got your lead. So it's not like you're doing necessarily bad things, right? Does that make sense? It's just
Holy shit.
that there is just a lot of farm that is being left up, and the longer that these are up, even though you got the 2 kills now, you'll end up being behind in farm from the Mercury that, even if he doesn't kill anybody, you'll end up being behind, not now, but in like 3 to 4 minutes, right?
Pretty
Um,
much just gave him oracles.
primarily
Yeah,
because
that's
kills
fine.
have
But
and
still, why would that
continuously
be-
get nerfed in this game,
I think that's
right?
so
Like, you can be. There's been a game where I was just like the better player, right? And I was killing people, and I was stopping them from farming, etc. Right? And I was rotating around the map, and I was killing everyone. And I remember I was like 10-0-8, right?
Mhm.
I was only a level up on my enemy mid laner, who was 1-7. Because the farm and the catch-up mechanics are even stronger. Now there is also, it's a very like hidden mechanic that people don't realize a lot, and it really affects the jungle, is if you end up falling behind the median level of the camps, the way that the camps spawn, it will just take you longer to clear them. Because they scale, like everything scales. So if you end up falling behind the median level, it will take more of your abilities and autos to clear a camp, which will then like shave off a couple seconds here per camp, right? And if every camp takes you 3 to 4 seconds longer to clear every time, right? Then like
1844.
over the course of 2 or 3 rotations of your farm, right, you're off by 30 seconds. So that's just like tiny little things that high res doesn't explain, that I just think is important to like be aware of. Not necessarily that it's going to hurt you very much right now in your gameplay, but like if you ever want to hit DD and like maybe even compete or do any of those things too, like it's just important to be aware that those factors do incorporate into the game. Okay. Obviously, we didn't hit all the ultis, but that's not like a you thing. You still got the kill, and you got a blink. That's well played. Still,
trying to
either way.
surrender.
I would
I
say,
think my biggest.
Go ahead.
Oh wait, go ahead.
I'd say here, you can do 2 things, right? Instead of going here to the right, they're in your wave and in a tower, right? So you have vision of them regardless of if this tower dies because the minions are there. You can just go right here and ulti through the wall.
Yeah, I should have probably did that. That's probably a way better play. I would have got both.
It's you get both or you don't, right? We'll say you still blink, he doesn't do anything, he has something, right? Even if you don't, it's more about putting yourself in a position where they have less time to react. Right? Like if they like you walk here, right? They see you, right? Good play, right? They see you, they start to back away, and like they set up because Kern is there, right? He does it, he clears, he dashes away. Versus if you go through that right side, he has to react after he's already been hit because the audio is different from being on the side of the wall versus being in front of them. So you think about it from like an audio point of view too, right? If you can reduce the amount of time that they have to see you and hear you in terms of a kill, means like you're more likely to get more stuff, right? But now,
Yeah.
like CERN, even though you didn't kill CERN, he still blinks. So he is now like you have his relic timer. He is now a viable gank again in the future because his blink is down. Right, so
trying to surrender.
make sure you're keeping that in mind too as you're going through and playing. You're like, oh, blink is going to be down for a long time. I now have another gank opportunity on Cernanos here shortly. Obviously, if Afro is attached to the hip, you're not going to have nearly as much. But from a individual standpoint of CERN being able to gank you, or you being able to gank CERN, he is much easier now that his relic is down. Because I assume he doesn't have combat blink already. I haven't seen you press tab in a little bit. Oh. As I fucking speak my mind. Okay, so yeah, he has active blink, so he doesn't have like the item blink. It's too early in the game for him to have that. There may be some crackhead that does it, but so now you know that that's down. So he's a very optimal and prioritized gank target for you, because he also doesn't have Aegis, right? As the game progresses on, like I don't know if you were counting it in your head or paying attention to it or not, because obviously I don't know what's going through your head, just what you say. Is like Morgan Le Fay is the only person who's able to like stop you from killing them with Aegis, if like late game coming, mid to late game, right? When your ulti just does so much damage.
Yeah.
It's that or Aphrodite. That's it. Beads does nothing. Shell does nothing. Blink does nothing. So you have to keep that in mind too, of like abuse who has those relics. And then if somebody manages, like Neath manages to combo Morgan Le Fay and get that Aegis,
He's ulting.
then it's
I don't know if
free.
he's ulting me. If he's ulting me, then he's dead. Okay, he's ulting the wave.
Yeah, I think my biggest thing in this game, because I definitely like this is much like more fast paced than
Yeah,
League, right?
100%,
Like League is much
100%.
slower down. You know, games usually are like 40 to 50 minutes a piece.
Exactly. It's very like
I need to like learn how to clear all my camps
Wait, dude, what the
and
hell?
properly gank
I did not think they were doing that
efficiently
type of damage to him. Also, there's a
100%.
with
I think
the sped up gameplay.
yeah, because it is like in League, like you said, it's a lot slower. So like you have to go in Smite, because like right now in a pro game, if everyone is communicating at the correct pace and like taking their leads where they are, games can end in 20 minutes. Like 20 minutes, Titan's dead. They most of the time they go longer, right? But in a quote unquote perfect world of everyone's playing together and playing cohesively and they're not dropping the ball, the game can end in 20 minutes very simply. Now, one thing I would say, just as you're getting used to it, right? Just getting used to the game, prioritize your farm, because kills are worth less in the game. Obviously, getting your laner a lead is important. Getting yourself a lead is important. But making sure that your farming camps are worth so much in the game that it's very important to just do the farm, and then if an opportunity arises, go for it, and then go farm again. Versus like, you know, say you're doing that route, right? And you're like, oh, well, I can look for duo, right? But the higher you go, right, in gameplay, the less chances for a gank is going to happen. So you don't want to like, you know, you can say, hey, I'm going to look for something here once I do my farm route. Is there an opportunity? And then you know, yay or nay. Versus like just going over somewhere because you want the kill instead, right? Is the best way that I've told Beast. Beast is one of the junglers that I started coaching. He played Smite 1 a little bit, but I've been coaching him for like 4 or 5 months, and we got him from gold to demigod in like 5 or 6 months, like just working. And that was one of the first things I told him to do in the game, was just farm. And as you get more accustomed to people making mistakes and like getting used to that, you will be able to recognize when you're able to go for that kill and substitute farm out in between.
Right? Yeah, most of it. I feel like once I learned that, like honestly, I don't like want to like be like cocky or whatever, but like I think I'm already like ahead of my curve.
100%.
Like before I even bought coaching, like I'm plat 3.
Yeah.
And I'm still climbing very easily in plat 3 with like a 65% win rate or something like that.
Right, you said you come from League, right? So you have the MOBA experience that comes through. Where you're really gonna hit your struggle point is like stuff like I'm talking about now, like that farming, because jungle's very hard, right? Like jungle's is the hardest role in the game, hands down. So like learning those small points and then learning the intricacies, right? Like for Tsukiyomi, right? We can talk about Tsukiyomi. You know how when you use his 2, he swings to the left and then he swings to the right and then he goes down the center, right? So if you need to disarm someone faster, you shift your camera to the right so the animation for your left side disarm comes out faster. Or you want to hit the whole camp, right? Because if say you're pulling a camp dead on, right, and you have your 2, and you are looking directly at it, you'll only hit the middle and the left with the first swing, and then the middle and the right with the second swing.
Mm-hmm.
To where if you look to the right and then look to the left and then look down the center, you'll hit all 3 with the first strike, all 3 with the second strike, and then all 3 in the middle. Right? So it's like the tiny little nuance stuff is what like will get you really high up there, because there's deity players that don't realize that the character works like that. Like it's
Afro here now too.
So it's even then like those tiny little things can make you like that'll be your hardest thing in the game, is just getting used to the nuance stuff.
Missed my whole fucking combo, bro.
Kind of like I can't remember if I've told so like displacement immunity, right? And how displacement immunity
you
works.
You were telling me that with this build.
Okay, yeah, okay. So I coach a lot of people. I try to make sure I cover the bases for everyone. So that's just one of the big things that are like to really abuse, right? And you get to use the knockup immunity and some of the other things. So Afro's looking here. This is turning into a... She's dead. Yeah, she's dead. Okay. Going in there was a little risky because they could have, like, yes, they're looking at your emoji. They could have collapsed on you, and you're probably dead. Another thing too is you realize, especially because in this build in particular, you're going double stacking. It's really important that you're timing your backs with your farm and your power points, or like, sorry, your power spikes. And with trans and book, you need to get those items online stacking even faster, right? So like you have to make sure that as soon as book is ready to be bought, you try to get that, online. Same with transcendence, because you could be much farther ahead in your build that once you have those 2 items stacked up fully, you start to swing to the rafters in terms of damage, right? Like you do so much more once those items are fully stacked.
Morgan with great aspect? No.
Collapsed on here. There's just a lot. Ulti usage, you get something that's fine. They actually don't collapse on you, and who you rotates right. So that's good ulti. Good discipline. You could have ulti, like realistically, right? Like let's say you ulti Mercury here, right? Do you kill Mercury? Probably. Right?
Horus' left side and
Yeah.
Afro's there.
Exactly. So he's there. You've got your mid laner there. Afro's there. Afro's not linked to him, but it's just important to know. You know what I mean? Like you could have killed, but you also would have gotten killed for it. So there's good discipline on your part here to like not go in on him.
Bro, you guys.
Just throwing some good in with the coaching too. I just want to let you know, like, that was good discipline. Good pokes.
Oh God, you guys actually have a map or eyes? Holy fuck!
Holy shit, my man does not stop yapping.
They beefed this entire game.
Right? That's wild.
Do some of you know that there's this thing called the mini map? It's on the top right of your screen usually. It shows pretty much everywhere everyone is.
Yeah, it's not that many. I actually made mine larger a few months
Just
ago.
wanted to, give you guys a little tip on that.
One thing. This is just my buy wards. Wards are expensive. They cost money, but they're also very important bits of information. Like knowing when timers spawn.
So are wards like pink wards in League where they're permanent? Or
so I'm thinking
like
of
the actual purchasable ones?
The purchasable ones aren't permanent. They last. Fuck, they've changed the timer. I want to say 2 minutes. Yeah, it's 2 minutes in Smite 2. So they last for 2 minutes, right? Wherever you place it. And then if you buy a sentry ward, it will reveal all of the other wards around it, and then you can kill those wards, like the enemy wards, for 50 gold apiece. But with the timers of buffs being 2 minutes, right? Like if you throw, like for some reason, if you're up in this side and you throw that ward up there, you now know that timer, right?
Okay.
Of how long you did it, right? So that's just an aggressive use of wards. But the way that I say it is, especially in higher games, games are not won through player skill, games are won through ward battles, right? Just like you're playing a PvP game, you're also playing like Conquest, you know, you're playing like a mini map game, you know, my battleship style of information knowing, right? So even if you have well, let's say, you know, for mid, right, you have a ward here and then you have a ward here, right? You know that someone's not in that spot, right? Now, that's only with a regular ward, right? You'll know if somebody comes in, but if you have a sentry ward, right, it will be, you now know that they don't know that information, right? Which is worth its weight in gold. Like, if you know that but you ward aggressively, right, as a jungler, right? If you sentry ward up here, and then you sentry ward up here at your entry points for like mid, for instance, you now know that if you wrap through here, and like your mid laner does the same thing, right? You now know that if you wrap through here, he won't see you, and he has no clue that you're there, right? And that's worth a lot of information, especially when you come down to the team fighting stage of like Fire Giant and Gold Fury and any of those objectives, to where knowing what they don't know is more important than just having a ward there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I should have known that. I mean, well, I will keep it a buck with you, bro. I had no idea purchasable wards were a thing in this game.
No, I get that, because you get your free one, so that makes sense.
But yeah, I do try to like ward on cooldown, because I know like that's League of Legends as well, right? Like vision is half the battle, probably more than that, probably like 60% is, if you have vision, you know where everybody is, and it just provides you so much information.
Right. So a little bit, I don't want to go too much on a tangent off here in wards, but I do think it's important to know, right? You can only have 2 wards down on the map at one time. And the first ward that you place down is the first one to get replaced if you place down like a 3rd ward. Right? So you can buy 1 sentry in your inventory, and if you want to place down a 2nd one, you have to back to base, buy another one, and put another one down. Or you can carry 1 sentry and 2 regular wards, right? So the thing is that I do, right, when I play mid, I buy 1 sentry and I buy 2 regular wards. I put a regular ward in like a back alley location, and then I put the sentry in an area that I want to control. And let's say we're fighting around Fire Pit, right? And the enemy team is like hovering back in their red, right? Like their mages are back there. You know, they're kind of posturing, but not fully engaging. You know that this is clear, right? From you warding it earlier with your regular ward. You put your regular first, then your sentry in the center. You can now throw, because you've guaranteed this information of like, you know, they're not there. And you kind of can tell if there's people around that wall. But, you know, it's easier to hit abilities if you can see them versus having to guess through audio. You can throw your next ward over that wall in the middle of that team fight, right? And that provides your team with a whole new avenue of information. So it's always important that if you can do that, right? You're playing the ward war, but making sure that you don't put your sentry down first if you plan to do that, because like if you do your sentry first and then ward back here, this sentry is going to disappear, and that one's the expensive one. So like you just want to make sure that the order that you place your wards is important, because you can only have 2 on the map. Now with your ward here, right, your Q, you can get rid of this base one and you can get 2 other types of wards. One is the Y'all Flare, right, which is really strong. It's better than the base one. because it is essentially like, I'm not sure, have you used it at all yet or no?
I have not.
Okay, so the yaw flare is like, let's say you
Oh wait,
are...
is that the one you get in duels?
Yeah, you get that one in duel.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I have
Yeah.
used that one.
So you can get that one in here, right? And if you want, you can be in mid lane, clearing the mid wave with your guy, and then you can shoot it off and get a free speed get a free speed timer, right? And so like you can use that as the jungler to gain free information, and it doesn't count for your total wards on the map. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, okay.
So you can have a ward down, like a sentry on Fire Giant, a sentry covering your backline, or a regular ward covering your backline, and then you can yaw flare deep over, or you can yaw flare over to the right to get timers, right? But say you're just in your farming phase of the game, and you want to know what red timer is, or when it spawns, right? But you don't know exactly if it's up or not. You can use that yaw flare over from like your red buff all the way over to their red buff, get that timer, and if you're paying attention to your mini map, you see when it spawns because it's already been cleared out because you use the yaw flare for the vision. So like you can use those items as a way to gain information without having to go up there and do it all. So keep that in mind. Just for using that. Like one thing I like to do is this first ward you get, you know how you walked up and warded that scorpion at the start of the game?
Yeah.
What you can do is you walk up, you place that free ward on that scorpion, you back to base, you can click on it and sell it, and then buy the yaw flare, and it shares the cooldown. So the next time you're out running around, you'll have that yaw flare to use.
Okay, so should I start doing that?
I would, because it's better to get into that habit. Because yaw flare is as good as the player, for the most part. Right? Like if you actively start working on it to like make sure you're using it for information or in a team fight or something along those lines, then like you'll start to realize just the amount of information it can give you, right? If you're uncertain about where the enemy jungler is, or you think you have an idea where they are but are not certain, you can just yaw flare and get that information for free across the map without ever having to go that deep, right? Because it's way more unsafe to walk up and, say, like the first one you walk up and drop the ward of the scorpion, right? But the second time you're not really sure, but it's so late into the game it's unsafe for you to walk up here alone. You can just drop that yaw flare up, see if he's doing it, or see if it's down, or clear the timers on your mini map to see when it spawns, and use that information to know and guess jungle pathing for you yourself and your teammates. The other ward that you get for your Q instead of the yaw flare is you get kind of like the red ones in League, like the red sonars.
Yeah.
You get that too. You could buy that as well instead of yaw flare. So if you have to play more anti-warding, you can buy that instead and swap it out. And it costs nothing to swap those out at any point in time in the game. They just share a cooldown. Right, so if you use it at the start, but you want to go swap to it, you can just go swap to it at any point in time. It's just it'll still be on cooldown from the last time it was used.
Trying to talk shit now after throwing them in.
Do some of you know that there's this thing called a mini map? It's on the top right of your screen usually. It shows pretty much everywhere everyone is.
Yeah, it's not that many. I actually made mine larger a few months
Just
ago.
wanted to, give you guys a little tip on that.
What about it?
Blows my mind when like plat players talk like that.
Yeah, I don't know what bro was on about.
It's like that it's like that at every rank, bro. I have like 10 accounts, that have all done the grind to like masters, and I have some that I keep in lower level because I like to see the community and see what people know. And like, bro, gold players, as soon as you hit plat, bro, the E goes through the roof for 90% of players.
Yeah, this I fucked. I should have paid attention to the Merc. I don't know why I ignored him.
I'm just trying to hold him while y'all were doing whatever in left.
Okay, so let's
No,
go
I
back.
just died for that.
Alright, so he's autoing you here. One thing you can do if you're trying to walk a safe route, right? Because you're kind of stuck in this situation now, right? Like, you're not going to be able to just walk away. You don't have a dash. Hou-Yi is also getting touched, right? As you're walking through, right, he's just auto attacking you, beating your ass. One thing you can do, not necessarily just for the stun, but as you're walking, because he's on your left side here, you start your 2 and you disarm him as you're walking.
Okay.
Right, so he's not just sitting there punching you out, getting, you know, all this extra damage on you, right? Like, you take 500, almost 600 damage while you're walking forward, instead of just disarming him, and maybe as you're turning, because you also get movement speed for using it, you do it, and then you turn around and stun him as you're disarming him and walking away, and you're, like, extending his duration of the fight without taking the 600 damage. Right, and then like he goes here, you need to instant beads this.
Got 2.
Right, you would instant beads that, and it would allow you to position yourself to not be in this tiny corridor where like you and Hou-Yi both get hit. Right, because let's say, right, going into this, you disarm here, right? You disarm, you don't take this 600 damage, right? You walk up. At this point, he does it. He beads, or you beads here, and you walk forward instead of like getting thrown backwards. So Hou-Yi, if he's paying attention, right, would look at Cernanos because Cernanos just dashed, right? You would be at full HP for the most part, and then you would be walking at Cernanos with your cooldowns coming back up. Right, so Cernanos would more than likely die here, right? Assuming your Hou-Yi also, like, he's next to a wall, so Hou-Yi just bounces him, and he loses, you know, most of that HP anyways, on top of whatever damage you do to yourself, right? So just thinking of that, of like, you sat in it for very long, and he threw you into the wall to lock you in a situation, versus if you had done it immediately, you wouldn't have taken the spin damage from it. You wouldn't have taken the auto attack from him doing it. And with the disarm, you wouldn't have taken like the 500-600 damage just from like walking forward, right? And then that would put Cernanos out of position for dashing as early and as aggro as he did.
From middle here. I'm just trying to.
Right, and there, right, like you beads. When you did beads, right, we'll say it. You beads with. We're gonna slow this down.
Got 2 from middle here.
Yeah, that was a waste. I didn't even notice that was a wasteful beads.
You beads with exactly like that much, you know what I mean? Like, let's see if I can actually get like an actual bar.
Got 2 from middle here.
That much. Right. That was what you beats, right? And your slow is ending in 0.7 seconds. So you don't get anything out of it, right? So I don't want 2x. I'm not that fast. Right. So versus like if you had done that whole beads interaction earlier, you would have gotten some value out of it as well as the aggro play. Now, Hou-Yi just full fucking dipped, which is unfortunate, but
Okay, that was terrible.
that's just like a way to think about like how that interaction could have gone slightly different, just based on like either W keying or beadsing early, or
Nothing.
not like wasting the item as you have it.
Trying to
Gotta be
surrender.
Huey trying to surrender. We're literally winning in every aspect besides having him on our team. So we're fine.
Is that your boy?
That's the support. The support and fucking.
Oh, it's just the one guy code. We're actually winning just on every aspect except for having you on the team. That shit actually geeked me out. I'm not gonna lie. I love the banter. It's nice. It's so funny to me to listen to because it's all like, no one in this lobby is a good player by all higher standards. So it's just to hear like essentially toddlers. Okay, let's go back. Here, you get to choose whether she's trying to aggro you or she's trying to path, right? She's in your 3 range now, right? Like she's in your range. You could get that slow off, make her choose a path because she's in this corridor. If you throw your 3 on the ground, she's automatically going to get hit by it because she's in range, and she's going to have to choose whether to walk forward or go backwards. And she's going to take the damage from your 3, like walking through it. Right, and then you get to determine what she's gonna do. So she aggroed again. I would say 2. I know you might you're just kind of getting used to the game, but get used to swapping everything to instant cast.
It is on instant cast.
Okay, then you have the targeters on. Let me get that information for you.
I just I hold it. Is that?
So that's quick cast, I think. Let me double check. Let me boot up my game here really quick.
Yeah, I want to boot up my.
Because there's a couple settings that you can change to make it. There's some abilities that override and it doesn't work, but most abilities will not show you those targeters, or you know what I mean, like that amount of information. Targeting is part of it, like holding it down is part of it, but that targeting should not ever show up if you're on true instant, unless it's like a very specific setting. Hey, my game, hello. There we go. Yes, please load. Why are you taking so long? Okay, so if you go to settings, first off, right, gameplay, combat, and abilities.
Okay, I am on quick cast. I'm not on instant.
Got you. So instant cast, right? You'd want to set that to instant. It's just, I'd rather get you used to it now, and then like if you ever need to turn it on to like test something and understand the distance, sure. But it's better to get into the habit of instant, because like the extra time, the way that I think about it is most people on quick cast, right? If you're sitting there holding it, right, you're looking for an opportunity for it to be good instead of just doing the good thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, and you're spending a lot of time waiting and like doing more thinking than is necessary almost to do that. Now there's another thing. Let me find it in the settings. Okay, under gameplay and targeting and reticles, the very bottom one is enable instant cast pre-fire targeters. You'd want to turn that off as well if you don't want to see any of them.
Okay.
And that'll make it about as true instant cast as you can. Close my game out. So yeah, that'll help you like solve some of that and like remove, like actually here for this instance, right? Like you missed this one because of your pre-fire targeters. Like both times, if you sent it here to the left or you sent it there to the right, because that targeter has to come up through quick cast or the instant cast like targeters, it doesn't land, right? But if you were on that instant cast and you pressed it when your brain wanted you to press it, it would have landed. right? But the game settings stopped you from actually hitting it. Here,
Bro, I promise I'm not this bad, bro. I know I whiffed everything, bro, but
that's okay. Like I said, the biggest stuff too is like, you know, they're walking. You want to make sure you like, while she's in the air, right? While she's traveling, throw your 3 down on the ground, right? Instead of like waiting or trying to follow suit or jump or whatever, right? Like throw it on the ground because of the distance, right, and how far away she did, you're not going to make the wind gust. But if you have that range with your 3 to be able to like set her to where she lands just straight in it. Now here, you're in it, right? But you are going to take more damage because you just spent your full kit, right? Obviously your 3 did not land. But you are about to get into a fear, right? So at this point, use this movement speed that you have from your 2 and back out this way versus going forward, because now you're feared you're going to get hit with the full wombo combo, which she didn't do, which is actually insane. I don't know why she didn't just blow you up. Okay, well, I guess point is wrong because the MILF is an idiot, but you know, MILF could have 100% just full sent into you and done a lot of damage to you in terms of like the passive damage and the abilities.
I'm so rusty right now. I'm missing like every.
Now, granted, you are Tsukiyomi, haha. You just did 800 damage with your ulti smile. But just in that general sense, especially with like Aspect Morgan being more profound in the game, she can really punish you more than that regular Morgan would in that same situation. Let's see. There we go. Alright. So we see, I don't know what the fuck this Merc is building. Okay, stupid. Horus is going to be a bit tanky. ADC is doing ADC build. Afro is doing Afro things. And mid is doing mid, right? So there's not much you have to do to adapt your build. Tsukiyomi is one of the characters where you kind of just, your build doesn't really change super heavily unless you want int based or strength based, but it's relatively the same.
okay.
So there's not too much counter building, but one thing I would say, like, you're looking at your team's build, which is one thing, right? But make sure like you're looking at understanding, right? Like, you know that if Horus hits me because he has Rune Forged, he's gonna fucking swing, right? Granted, he hasn't done it too much, so you haven't interacted with Horus a ton. But once it comes to this team fighting phase, right? Horus is going to swing. Mercury does not have crit on Mercury, which is a wild statement I never thought I'd say in this world. But Mercury doesn't have crit, so you actually are in a position to punish Mercury a lot more than you normally would be, because Mercury is not hitting for nearly as hard as he should be. Right, so just in that aspect, he may be 5-2, right? But in that 1v1, you beat his ass because he's not like you. You have a disarm, you have a stun, you have your ultimate, you have slows, you have your caltrops, right? So you are good at dealing with Mercury in general. But the fact that he is not going like crit at all and hasn't even started it means you're going to be in a better position to continuously bully out this Mercury strictly because of his build.
Yeah, it's crazy because I versed this guy again after this, and he did the same exact Merc build, and I punished him a lot harder with the second game.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, it does make sense. I'm just saying, like, in this instance, yes, but I can see like how you go if you go against that again, like you do. I think it's less about like doing it and more like recognizing that you can do it more than anything else, right? Like, I look at the build, I go, oh, this idiot's not building crit, you run him down, right? Versus like, I don't really expect you to know that, so it's kind of why I try to point it out more than anything else. Is like, oh, this guy is not building the normal stuff that makes the character really good, so punish it out.
Horus is watching.
Team is dragging it out. That's fine. Good thing. Okay, so I will say, it's like a double-edged sword in this, right? You are here. You're hitting the objective, right? Which is partially your job and partially not your job. Right? You should be with your solo laner once this happens, right? You're doing it, it's fine. Once Horus shows up, you and your buddy, especially because your buddy's a solo laner, right? This is more about like what you guys should be doing in a team fight, is your all's job is there to dive, right? And peel and stop them from engaging with a lot of things. So, like, if you guys are fully grouped, you could be walking at this Horus and punishing him here for, like, at least easily half of his HP already. Right? Which, if you punish out Horus, then the Morgan Le Fay is not going to walk up here nearly as much, or she's going to be spotted out a lot earlier, and, like, the fight goes a little deeper into... You guys don't get, like, your team doesn't get knocked up. This is already in, like, kind of a sketchy place, because somebody's behind. Somebody's behind you. I think that's Merc. I assume that's... Yeah, it's Merc. Right? So Mercury's behind you doing it, right? So he's already diving to where, like, you and the Mulan are not diving. So you're in this position now where, like, you're flipping this Gold Fury, or not Gold Fury, this Naga at 800 HP instead of not forcing it, but being in the position to punish the Horus and the Morgan Le Fay because you and your Mulan are up there forward already, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, the support's job is to kind of peel and help your boy there, but it's partially like you're there doing it with them, so it kind of puts that false sense of security that they can do it, if that makes sense, because you're there, you're doing the damage, you're part of it. When in reality, like, if you and Mulan are out there aggressing, they get the information, like, they don't get punished as much. You all don't get punished, you don't take as much damage, but they get the information that, like, they're looking to counter it so they can drop it and turn it into a turnaround on Mercury, right? Just through the action of you and the solo laner stepping up to dive.
I'm gonna die here, but I hope we get it. Oh, we got it. Good shit.
You can kind of see just how that, like, leads into
I can't like get my
situational stuff, right?
Yeah.
Just from
Mercury just got
positioning
physical
more than anything else.
too? What the fuck
We
is
might
he
have all
even
died.
building?
With the perma buff and killing him, I feel like he's worth it.
Obviously, it turns into a whole, like, you see how tanky your guy is too, right? Like,
Mercury's gonna be
your buddy is tanky as shit.
He's 2 levels ahead of me now.
Is he the solo in this game, right? I assume
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So, like, I think that's something just for you to bring up with you and him, is like, you guys have to work together to dive, because solo laners damn near unkillable, and the assassins just blow up the backline. So if you guys are in tandem together, right, like working together and diving, then you're gonna get a lot more results and actually climb really fast, because most people in ranked can't deal with a coordinated dive
What's underneath is
because the supports just won't help them. Like, you saw Yamoja die in that Naga, and she didn't even turn around to help
that fight's so fucking bad.
Neath, like, that entire time. She didn't wall to help Neath. She didn't stun off. She didn't give a portal. She didn't do anything. And it's very consistent in ranked. Like,
They might jump you.
they won't just turn around and help. So if you and your buddy get more used to diving together, you'll get really good results. Like, outside of just this game, just in general. We are just kind of jumping around. It's one of those times where you said, like, what are we doing? Like, I'm not doing much. You're looking, you get a pick here. Assume you want. Okay, you don't get a pick. You probably could have, right? You throw your 1, then you throw your 3, you get your autos off, right, for each one. You probably get it, or at least you get Afro ult. But also, it's that point where, like, looking for the kill versus just going and doing your farm, and then getting wards set up and pressured out for maybe an invade or something along those lines, right? Because you could go do your farm if you have a power spike, which you'd probably get like your 1250 gold power spike, from doing the camps and then being at neutrals here, you would then hit a T2 item spike right before like a fire giant contest would happen. Right, in like an actual game. So just keep that farm and power spike items in mind when you're like looking through some of this stuff.
Yeah, my bad. At least his ult's down.
That's like the first time though, like really the first time the whole game that I've seen you kind of just jump around and not do much. I know you said that at the start of the game, but that's like the first real time that I've seen you do that.
This was the moment I was talking about because I've noticed this myself.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, here I should have, like you said, I should have cleared speed or Scorpion into speed into oracles,
Right.
and then it would have saved me. I would have actually been doing something than just sitting there.
Yeah, and that's like, I almost say it's kind of common a lot of the time, and some of it's like analysis paralysis, right? Like, you're also kind of just trying to figure out what to do on the map, because you're not just as experienced with the game, so you have to like think about what to do more than just muscle memory it. So I don't necessarily think of it as a bad thing, but now the whole team fight broke out there. Mercury breaks through. You're dead here. Oh, he missed. Never mind.
Why are you trying to tell that, bro?
You have to pre-read some of this stuff, but now you're locked in.
Everyone's there. That's why.
Yep, their whole fucking team's here and they just melt the tower. I don't even...
Yeah, see here, I'm so used to League of Legends towers.
No, yeah, towers are not your friends, dog.
Like, yeah, yeah, League towers are a lot stronger.
Yeah, 100%.
The other team's grouping.
League towers are like, oh shit, I took 2 tower shots. I'm fucking almost dead. Like, this game, especially because, so a little thing to go into towers, right, with the game, is towers do ramping damage the more tower shots you hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you leash it and then pick it up again, it resets. So you can take like 100 damage, then 200 damage, then 300 damage, then 400 damage per shot. And if you step out and step back in again, you're going to take 100 damage, then 200 damage, right? So you can abuse the fact that it doesn't do a ton of damage, and then put it also more into the fact of like, now I can make it do less damage again. Same with, for some reason, Dagger of Frenzy, or not Dagger of Frenzy, the Fire Giant Dagger, if you use the dagger while you're tanking the tower, it'll reset the damage.
Okay.
So you don't get hit at, like, you'll get low, you'll take like 10 shots, you know, and then you'll use it again, it'll be just like it hit you the first time.
Everything.
Aphrodite's just linked to the Merc, actual criminal activity.
This was just bad pathing on my part as well. I should have went behind.
Oh, the heal is crazy. Beads. Okay. Fine.
I'm still just...
Pathing aside, right? You do it here. You beads, you auto, he dies.
Mm-hmm.
Versus now he's getting the full heal off, right? And like you take more damage than you need to, so then Afro gets to kill you.
I'm still just dead there, man.
That's the big thing for that one. It's just like, I think for you just getting faster into beadsing stuff when you need to. Like, I'm not saying just waste your beads on anything, but like, especially in a close fight like that where he's low, the same as that beads is saving you from taking damage, it's also a W key beads to like be able to do damage and kill.
Yeah, I think I just need to stop holding on to it so often, because I mean, I think the cooldown is less. Well, it's like 165 seconds for beads and all that, right?
Yeah, I think it's like 160. Yeah.
Yeah, compared to like League is like 5 minutes for sums. So it's like I just need to get out of that mindset.
Right. The best way that I say it is you tend to get, in general, 2 ultimates to 1 beads. More often than not. Right? Or Aegis or whatever the relic is, right? So you use your ulti, right? Say they Aegis your ultimate, right? You have, when your next ultimate comes off, a couple seconds to ulti again before the next set of ultimate their Aegis is going to be back up. Right, so think of it as like one is to spend, the next one is guaranteed, one is to spend, the next one is guaranteed. And that also works for like if they're going for you, right? If you spend your beads, then the next time their kit's up, it's going to be guaranteed. Nice pick. Beads again here. He's, like you said, just holding the beads. Big damage. Gave them enough time. You kind of pathed.
Mid tower up, like,
Yeah, you pathed into the mid instead of
just going straight back.
Yeah, so you get there, you get the kills. Here. They got you beads and you just walk towards your team. Right?
Yeah.
But now you get thrown into it, you're stuck into the whole thing. Yamoja wall is still up, but granted you'd be farther back. You'd pretty much be at Yamoja at this point. And then you'd go through. Another thing you can do, right? Let's say you don't beads here, right? Which you did later, but you're in here. Okay, so I'll use this for a reference. You know, if you walk through this Yamoja portal the way it's at, it's gonna knock you this way, right? It's gonna knock you back towards this wall. But you can beads and walk through it so it doesn't CC you, and if they try to chase, they will get knocked back or have to spend beads. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can use that level of stuff, like, it's weird, but you're beadsing your own teammates' ability to, like, force them to have to do something, right? And you get to walk out for free. There's also the other option where, oh, sorry. This whole time, right, while you were getting gone on here, like Yamoja walls here, you just cut this way.
Yeah, that's the way I was
or well,
talking about,
probably not this
back.
deep. You'd probably go around this route. You wouldn't go this way because let's say ADC rotates, he's gonna meet you here and not here. So right, but there's also like that's so much time that they had enough time to come back and get you. So
oh, bruh, that was such.
Rich picking all the way. Excuse me. They're just hunting for some reason.
Damn, these cookies hard as a bitch.
The random commentary kills
No
me.
way he just altered that.
Yeah.
I love it.
He's just never gonna rotate. You're just gonna sit in bot lane the whole time, then until we surrender. Like,
Yo, top right of your screen, there's a thing called a mini map.
Hear this man say mini-map one more time, I'm gonna fucking tweak. Here, just do your farm the best you can. You're not 20 yet, so you just gotta make sure you're doing your farm. You put your ward up, right? That's good. You're putting that out. But now you're pathing. Before I could finish my sentence, as like you instead are pathing, like you know this route that you just came from is safe. Going into this late into the game, if you get picked, they're going to go for Fire Giant, right? Especially with your ADC on the other side of the map. So, like, if you... Pathing here is going to walk you more than likely, if they're posturing for fire, into somebody. Either the jungler or their whole team grouping and, like, setting up wards and stuff. Versus if you path back this way, right? Now, you're on the ass end of Afro, and you could be getting collapsed on, right? Versus if you wrapped this way, you'd be in front of Afro and like not be in a position to get like pincered out. Thankfully, they're not like grouped and they don't punish you for it. Well, we did WK a little harder, but the higher you go, that lone Afro is not going to be a thing. It's going to be whoever her target is and they're linked to, and they're prepping and hunting. Right? They're looking for you to be in that position and to kill you. Yeah, there's another one. Yeah.
Why is their whole team?
There it is. Didn't even get every time I say it. Something.
Bro, I didn't.
But that's what they'll do, is they'll punish you
I
there
just
for
saw
that, which
our
they did.
Did I not just hear our support go over there, or like?
Versus like that whole interaction only happens because you path right and not south. Just
Yeah.
Motherfucking wall.
She just. I don't even know what the fuck even happened to Morgan.
Either, bro. She annihilated.
This is so winnable.
Wait, how do we
just
lose
running
Neith? No. Okay, wait. I don't know if we could pull FG now, though. That's the thing. Yeah, who he's gonna back.
Mm,
It's kind of unfortunate.
yeah, it's unsafe. You probably could pull it, but unsafe. Better to not. Another thing also is like, obviously that whole thing happened because you pathed and it turned into a whole thing. Your camps have now been up for a long time. Right, like because of that whole interaction, it's been like a minute and you've gained like a quarter of a level. So just worry about the snowball like as it goes through, and just make sure you're getting all of the farmers you can. You're going to now, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, bro, stop playing like a bot.
Oh shit.
you also Afro abusers, which is criminal to me. Drew, you have the ward, so go get your buff, right? Like, you don't have any real wards, you have your fake one, so it's something, but like, you need to go get all of your farm, your neutral camps. Like, let's say this Oracle's up. I doubt it is, but let's say this Oracle's up, right? Getting this Oracle this late into the game is worth a lot, because you now know if they go for gold, you guys go Fire Giant. Or you now know that they can't go gold and they're not there, so they're probably looking for fire. Right, so that being a ward in itself and a counter ward is really important to get the later the game goes on. Yeah, it is up. That's crazy. That's never up in any world of any game I've ever in. But right, so now you know, right, you guys can pressure out this Fire Giant and be in the position to, if they do for some reason show up to try to do gold, you guys get to rip fire for free. Okay. Yes, Mercury died. Let's assume Mercury is crit. Right? Mm-hmm. Instead of throwing your 1, I mean you are, right? But you throw your 3 there. Use your 2 instead. It's a disarm, right? So Mercury is going to stop doing damage to the Hou-Yi. Right? If he has crit, god damn it. If he has crit, right, like, Mercury is dead. Or not Mercury, Hou-Yi is dead if Mercury's building correctly and you use your 3 there.
Wall.
Oh wait, this is an actual fire. Wait.
She just. I don't even know what the fuck even happened to Morgan.
So I gotta catch back up to where we were.
Okay, so should I just start? Because I know I'm initiating with 1. Should I change my initiation up and go 3 to 2 and then save the 1 for
3, right? Like 3 and 1 is good poke as well as a slow. But like if you're, it also kind of depends on who you're playing against, right? Like Mercury is an auto attack based character. Right? So like your 2 is much more valuable. Like as you're closing the distance, right? You're 3 and you're 1. Right?
Okay.
But once you're getting on top of him and you can get close enough, that disarm becomes much more valuable because you're CCing him. Well, you're not, he's still walking, but you're still CCing him and stopping him from being able to do damage. Right? Like, if he was crit at all, that Hou Yi is just dead. But
Mercury is throwing his.
think of it in that aspect of,
perfect,
like,
bro.
it's very dependent on the characters you're playing against and what they're trying to do. Because you are an assassin with a stun, right? Just in general, you're an assassin with a stun, a disarm, two versions of a slow, and like that CC immune ultimate, right? So you have a lot of utility for like an assassin, right? Like most assassins don't have that amount of CC. It's normally like 1 CC, right? Like Mercury, for instance, right? Well, you have a slow or 2 slows, a disarm, a stun, and a CC immune ultimate, right? That also acts as a chase. Mercury only has his ultimate, which is a stun, and then he has his 3, which like locks him in the spinning circle and is a knockback, right? So you have like 4 times the buttons that he does in terms of like utility.
Nice if one of our 2 ADCs would show up, but they would rather just play footsies in mid lane.
I thought y'all niggas playing Smite, not footsies.
This is fine. So let's see if this leads to anything.
What y'all boys on tonight?
Just chilling.
Okay, walking.
It's cool.
You're okay. You path backwards. I was like walking in there, which your boy does, is very
Y'all niggas
dead.
did it.
Like there's no. You have so much information. This is more for your boy than you. Like there's no point to walk in there. You're just where they're all there. Afro's down here. They're grouping, just kind of forcing into a situation where there's like
That's cool.
not a lot. Right, and this is just going to be a bad fight for you guys in general, from what I can tell. Yeah, Afro ulti. I can't believe anyone's actually dying for you guys. Oh, Caltroph's putting in fucking work. Jesus Christ. You did like 3,000 damage with Caltrophs. And that's why Caltrops are broken as fuck. So as much as you guys should have lost that engagement, you threw your 3 down and they just walked all over that shit. You almost single-handedly killed that entire team just with your 3. Which is insane, because they Afro ultied your ulti, so your ulti only did like 500 damage. But you dropped like 4,000 damage in that team fight. Which is, technically the equivalent to like 2.5 people's full HP bar. You only have 2.3k. Right, so like, that was a good chunk of damage. You know what I mean? Like that was...
Fuck your daughter. I ain't gonna have
Yeah, I need to use Caltrops a lot more. I'm noticing.
Nice stun on the dash. That's his ulti for free.
No, he's one shot. Wherever Horus lands, he's one shot.
Why are you getting pink? What the hell? Your team's kind of in that position again. You guys are very spread out and not doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's tough. It's not your fault. That's just like your boy is up there not doing much. They're gonna get collapsed on because they're right outside a tower. Neath ulti and they get stuff, but it's poked. Big ulti. Yeah, that's it right there. Tsukiyomi special. Oh, that's fucking game. That's game.
Yeah, we probably should have ended here. That's what our support was saying. Wait, we just fire giant here.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
We
You
had
definitely
single
end.
fire
Their
giant.
lowest, it's 1 Afro support, and they're dead for 46 seconds. You 1,000,000% end the game here. Whoever that was, he's correct in that.
Why are we not in game?
No problem.
because we just fire giant here and then we just end regardless.
Yeah, but we didn't.
We can't
See,
end in 20 seconds, bro. There's no way.
You're right. We had 40 seconds when we first killed him.
he is correct in that aspect. You guys definitely could have ended the game. Especially because your guys' ADC burn is not that crazy. But I mean, I assume it works. Did you guys end up winning or losing this game? I assume you won.
We won.
Yeah.
Damn, actually, do you think it could have ended there? You probably could have. I don't know. No one
Yeah.
missed. No.
It's tripping me up. I keep thinking it's you talking, but it is, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in the moment, I'm like, what? Okay, no, okay.
We've been in too many matches.
Let's see. You get your speed buff. That's fine. You have dagger. Oh, let's see what's happening. There, nice. Yeah, I mean, Mercury is a non-threat to you. Good poke.
Sarnosis rotating around.
Oh, you're fine. I'll disarm go burr. Yep, there he goes.
No, I'm not really scared of him here at all.
Now we definitely can just end.
Nice. Big damage. Oh, you can't face check her, but you do have dagger, so big dubs. Well played. Didn't need to waste dagger, but you got dagger. Oh, so you get pass on that one.
Yeah, that's the only reason I did that.
No, 100%. I get
I
that.
had dagger.
Where it's like, it's good, right? Like, I understand that, but also, right, like, if you're tanking here, Titan, granted, they get it. One thing to keep in mind, right, is when you dagger, you take no damage. So if you tank Titan and then dagger, it's Titan's doing no damage for the entire duration that you're daggered. So, like, it's a good tool for, like, if it's close, like, not necessarily in that instance, right? Because you guys are just going to win the game. But in an instance where the game is a lot closer to ending, it's more important to like get into that level of like use the dagger because you can stall the game. Also, Titan is so weak. Oh my god. But yeah, no, that was a lot of it. A lot of your big like talking points, right, for like this game in general was make sure you're doing your farm as much as possible, right? You know, you're looking for your ganks, you're doing your things, right? But it's make sure we're not leaving farm up for too long. Watch the pathing, right? You don't want to be over pathing and doing a lot of stuff, right? And pathing incorrectly. Because you did die a couple times due to that. And part of that is like you have to know what they're looking for, but you also have to know what you're trying to do, you know, type of thing. So making sure we're safe pathing, using our wards for information, as well as like we talked about with a Yawler flare, the anti-ward, right? Heimdall site ward and things like that to counter and give yourself some information for warding and stuff. And camp farm timers and junglers and all that stuff. And then relic usage. You know, make sure we know when's a good time to use it defensively and offensively, right? So we're not taking as much damage, or we have an opportunity to go out or get kills with that relic regardless. You know what I mean? So
yeah. After watching this replay, I definitely farm. I think I'm gonna probably focus on the most because, like you said, there's a lot of time where camps are up for minutes plus.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of those fights could have been saved if I beads quicker or if I just like pre-beads going into it. Like especially that first like fight that I had on Mercury for Oracle. Like I could have got the kill there.
Yeah. 100%. And that's something I expect to just come with time too, as you play the game. But it's also a lot of people don't think about pre-beadsing. They don't think of like they always think, oh, I have to use this when I'm in a bad spot, not I can use this to W or use this to guarantee a kill. So it's also just good to like keep that in mind, that is an option, right? Because in League it is, but it's much more punishing than it is in this game. So
Yeah, that's because, like I said, that's the mindset I'm in because I'm used to Flash, like pretty much being a 5-minute cooldown
yeah.
compared to like a 2-minute cooldown
Mhm.
or like a 2.5-minute cooldown.
Right. No, 100%. Which is why, like, it's good and bad, right? Like, it's good to be reserved. Now you just have to learn how to, like, as you said, the pace of the game is faster, right? So realizing that everything that you think about in League is just twice as fast in this game, so you can use that a lot more to your advantage. Those are the big notes, right? I'd say for just this review and this session, right, is like what I talked about. Those are your big notes. I would say, like, treat that as homework over your next, few games, or just as you're continuously playing. Use those as your focal points, right? Make sure you're you make sure you're maintaining wards on the map at all points in times, right? Like, work on, you don't have to do all of those things, right, at the same time. You can take it as, this game I want to make sure I'm warding correctly. This next game I want to make sure that I'm doing my farm super correctly, right? And you just slowly add those things to yourself as you progress, and just work on one at a time, and then you'll eventually get it to where it's subconscious, and you'll just do it without having to think about it. So don't try to do what so many people I coach like say, is don't try to apply all of that information in your next game, right? Work on one thing and then slowly increment yourself as you go, just to not kind of overload, because you could also put yourself into analysis paralysis and play worse when you're trying to fix one thing. So that's the big stuff I'd say for that game. We turned a 30-minute game into an hour and 45-minute review.